this is Sonja from My Happy Space. Welcome back at my channel. I'm going to do a sort of a flower wreath entry today. I've got these beautiful flowers which I've got from his palettes. He's got an Etsy shop, and I've got this printable from a lady called Scribbling Grace. It's a free printable with the watering can and the words. I'm going to use that later. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do some watercoloring with these beautiful black and white flowers. You can obviously use it just like that also. I'm going to do some black and white stamping later. So, but I just felt I wanted to do it. I'm using my watercoloring pencils. So I'm just trying to do two methods how to do it. I've got an aqua brush there. So there's some water obviously in the aqua brush, and then I just pat it on top of my watercoloring pencils, and then I'm just coloring in. Another method is just to do the coloring in first, as I'm doing now. I'm going in with that small little sort of center pieces of the flower. And if I finish doing that, then I take my water and just go over that. So I don't really know what is the best way to do these, use these watercoloring pencils, but you can just try it out for yourself. Another way I'm going to do it, as you see, I'm scribbling some of that watercoloring pencil on a sort of a clear sheet, and I'm just dipping my water brush in it. I think that method is probably the best if you want to do fainted watercoloring. The secret of watercoloring, I'm by all means not an expert, but I found that you do layering. You first go in sort of, maybe if you want to do the center of your flower nice and dark, go in with sort of less water and dark watercoloring, and then you let it dry, or you go at the outside of the flower, you go a little bit lighter. You can let it dry, and then you can go in on top of the dry paint with some darker sort of stripes, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Otherwise, it's a little bit flat. As you can see with this flower, going around the edges now, just to make it a little bit darker, and then I'm going to go with my aqua brush over it. But before we go on, I just want to let you know where I am journaling. I'm journaling in Isaiah 51 verse 3, and the Lord is talking to through Isaiah rather, to Israel, and it says, "For the Lord comforts Zion, He comforts all her wasteland, and makes her wilderness like Eden, a desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness will be found in her, thanksgiving and the voice of song." So I would not say this is the most perfect verse to use the sentiment which we're going to use later. You shall be like a water garden. But I've already journaled in the passage that Scribbling Grace with the free printable suggested, which is Isaiah 58 verse 11. So I've looked up these verses which talk also about water and wilderness and things like that. And I love Isaiah. That is one of my favorite books in the Bible, so I didn't mind doing some more journaling in there. Now what I've done is, with this sentiment, you shall be like a water garden, I've just cut it apart because I wanted to spread it a little bit sort of between or among this half crescent or this crescent that I've made. And I'm just using some sticky tape, which I've obviously made less sticky by rubbing it on my finger, just to see that it fits perfectly in this half crescent. I just used a small little plate, and I've just drew a half crescent to sort of make it halfway over the page. And as you can see, I've copied it now with light pencil, and now I'm going to just go with a 0.5 micron pen, and I'm just going to rewrite over it. And then later I'm going to do faux calligraphy, which I've just basically the down strokes I'm going to make a little bit thicker. And that's one thing I'd love to be able to do, is beautiful calligraphy. But unfortunately, that's a skill that you have to practice, and I haven't practiced it enough. And Scribbling Grace, the lady, she does bouncy lettering, which you will see the W go a little bit down, and some of the letters is a bit higher, so it almost goes like bouncy, and that is quite difficult to do if you're not comfortable with it. So that's why I thought I'm rather going to trace it, and I know then there is nice lettering there than me trying to do it by myself, and then I'm just not making it pretty. So I've got this beautiful stem which fit in quite nicely with the flowers, and I'm going to do sort of wrap it around the wreath in 3 different places just to bring a little bit black and white elements also in it. As you said, you could have probably just kept some of the flowers black and white, but I just wanted to use the stamp set. I love it, it's beautiful. That bigger rose I end up not going to use. I was just not 100% sure how it's going to look, and I thought to myself, if I need to, I can always go back with the bigger rose, which you can see there on my table on the right hand side. So I decided just to stuck to these 3 elements or 3 points where I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to sort of try to fill the ones, the colored in flowers I've got among these roses. So this is now how my coloring in flowers came about. I've earlier showed it to you. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I love the sort of the different layers of the colors, the darkers and the pinks and the oranges. So yeah, I'm really happy of how it turned out. So yeah, just to get back to the verse, as I said, this is Isaiah, and Isaiah is divided in a few segments, and from Isaiah 40, it starts with comfort, comfort, and this is the part where God now comforts. There is comfort for Jerusalem and Israel, and he's talking about immediate comfort for them if they're obedient, but he's also talking about, he's predicting the end times where God is going to come and establish his kingdom, his millennium kingdom, and everything that everyone who went against Israel, and all the prophecies and the sort of the prosperity that's been promised to them will come about when he set up his millennium kingdom at the end. And this is part of it, the wilderness and the hard times that Israel has to go through. He will turn it into gladness. And there's also something for us when we are obedient to the Lord and we listen to his voice, then our dry spot in our life will also turn into hopefully a beautiful garden, and we shall be like a watered garden, and I love that. In the meantime, I'm just highlighting my verse, which I'm journaling in, and I'm just going to color it in with a pink aqua brush, and then I'm going to do my date stamping at the bottom, but unfortunately I have done it upside down. I didn't look, I was just laughing at myself, but I thought maybe it could become a sort of a trend in the Bible journaling community. Let me know what you think, if it will catch on. So that concludes my intro. I hope you enjoyed it. I will link all the details below, the printable and his palette Etsy shop with these beautiful flowers. If you like this, please give me a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider so. I hope you've got a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.